Hello, welcome to a new video of Dynasty War, and today we're going to talk about leveling up Awakening skill or not. So today we're going to talk about Overlord Sun Ce, and well, why? Because I am about to awaken him in my main account. 9 out of 10, one more skill, then I could awaken him, and I will. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about should we upgrade his skill after awakening or not. So his main skill, creates a shield that absorbs a lot of damage. In fact, 6,000 damage at 15/15 is a lot. Himself only has 8,000 HP, so that shield basically covers 3/4 of his own HP. Basically, you can think about this shield giving him 75% more HP. It lasts only 15 seconds. However, as a shield hero, and you only use Overlord Sun Ce on offense, within the 15 seconds, he would probably take a lot of damage. So I don't think any of the damage will be wasted. So technically, you can think about having 75% extra HP when he uses skill. On top of that, stunning 3 heroes for 7 seconds. So the stun is kind of like Jiang Wei's stun, except that it does not do any damage, and it only reduced 10-second range. So compared to Jiang Wei cleared it completely, but 10 seconds is still a lot. However, the big difference between the stunning aspect of this skill is that Jiang Wei's skill has a much bigger range. Overlord Sun Ce has a very small range, a very significant smaller range. So that's the only bad thing. Usually, what I see is that the stun doesn't really work if you use it on initiation, because you usually don't get all 3 hero. Maybe if you tank their skill once already, and then you can stun them the second time. But I don't know. But the awakening skill, after the shield, after the barrier vanishes, becomes invulnerable for 7 seconds. So after the shield breaks, after the 6,000 damage is absorbed, he becomes invulnerable for 7 seconds, which is extremely powerful. Because then at that 7 seconds, he can take as much damage as possible and tank as much as he needed. So this is very, very, very... I think this is probably one of the most powerful awakening skill from all the hero. I think it is, especially shield hero. Obviously, there's only a couple of shield hero. But this awakening skill is super strong. Now, the only downside to this skill is it only neglect damage. So he could still be slowed and frozen. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. You don't really need him to do any damage. You just need him to stay alive and continue to tank. So I'm looking forward to get my Overlord Sun Ce to this point. But let's take a look at the numbers. So right here, I listed the shield HP and the stun duration for 10 out of 10 and 15 out of 15. So going from 10 out of 10 to 15 out of 15, the shield gets an additional 1500 HP. So that's basically a 33% increase from 10 out of 10 to 15 out of 15. Now, although half of it probably comes from the 10 extra level, and 10 of it comes from the 5 extra skill. But this is still a lot of HP, 1500 HP for the shield. As we compared earlier to his own HP, this is quite a significant amount added to him. He is probably one of the few shield heroes that can tank for over 10 seconds. When I say that, it's probably like 2 Purgatory Tower and the Frost Tower and probably heroes attacking him. He could probably do that, while most other heroes cannot. Shield hero, because if they take long enough damage, probably like 5-6 seconds, they start to get burned down pretty quickly. And Sun Ce probably can go up to like 15 or 20 seconds, because he has a lot of HP, he has a big shield, and then he can be invincible for 7 seconds. So he is extremely strong. But let's focus on his main skill first. Obviously, it's an active skill, so you use it whenever you want. You can get this shield whenever you want. And it's probably best to use the skill later, because you can get regeneration or healing from treasure for him, which I'm going to talk about later. But more importantly, you might think the 1500 extra HP for the shield is not that significant, especially if you did not have the damage partnership satisfied, which I don't, because for the damage partnership you need to buy the 6-star hero, and the only way to get it is you literally have to buy. It's the 15-day continuous recharge event in order to get him. That will open up the damage partnership, and this amount, the amount of damage that the shield can absorb, depends on that. I checked because currently my Sun Ce is at 9 out of 10. It only absorbs 3,900 damage, while the max for 10 out of 10 can go up to 4,500. So there is a couple hundred difference. I assume this will only go up to like maybe 5,500. So this it's probably the secondary. What's more important is the 5 to 7 second. You're getting 2 extra seconds. You're getting 40% extra time in their stun, which makes a big difference, because 5 seconds stun, you take away 10 seconds of their rage, so that's 15 seconds. So this is 17 seconds, and stunning them for 2 extra seconds means you have 2 extra seconds to attack and do whatever you need to do. 2 extra seconds for your Overlord Sun Ce to survive, because you're expecting him to take a lot of damage, and he can. So that's a good thing. So probably at 11 out of 15 you get 6 seconds, and then at 15 out of 15 you get 7 seconds, which is the trend that I see for most heroes. When their 5 extra skill give them 2 extra seconds, you get the first one at the next level, which is 11, and then you get the last seconds at the last level. So just for the time, for the stunning duration, you need to get him to 15 out of 15. Now that might not be the priority, because the awakening skill is so much more useful. So I think this is the awakening skill upgrade level, whatever. So you start at 3 seconds and then ends in 7 seconds. I think probably that is true, because I can only see that at level 5 out of 5 it's 7 seconds. It only makes sense to say that it increased by 1 second each time, so you go from 3 to 7. Even at awakening skill level 1, that is already so much stronger. We need 3 extra seconds for invincibility. So after the shield, you get 3 seconds of invincibility. Very strong. Last week we talked about White Coat Lumo. He started with 3 seconds as well for his skill, and his awakening skill extend the duration of his original skill. That's 3 seconds, a lot of time already. I think who else gets 3 seconds? I think that's only these two. Heroine gets only 2 seconds. Crazy Juju gets only 1 second when they first get the awakening skill. So getting 3 seconds of invincibility is extremely powerful, especially obviously when you go to 5 you get 7 seconds. The increase obviously always stays the same for awakening skill. You get less value per level, but you gotta realize what you're getting in this skill. You're getting invincibility, so you are not going to get killed for an extra second. A second is a lot in this game, because everything we talk about is in DPS, damage per second, so it could go up to a couple thousand. Especially as a shield hero, you're supposed to tank. The longer you stay alive, the more fire you're gonna be drawing to yourself. So the longer Sun Ce stay alive, the more damage he's gonna accumulate on himself every second. So once the shield break, he has 7 seconds extra time to stay alive. Obviously, after the 7 seconds, he is probably gonna get instantly killed, especially Purgatory Tower and the Frost Tower and whatever other things is targeting on him. But this is basically, time is always the best resource in this game, as I've always talked about in many other videos. But you also have to realize what you are getting. This skill is invincible, so I would say probably the first thing you do is get this to 5 out of 5, and then get it to 15 out of 15. Now the next thing to talk about is obviously treasure. He does require, he doesn't, I won't say he required, but he can get some good attributes that make him even stronger. And I listed the 4 attributes here. So technically you do need all 4 of them to get a very strong Sun Ce. Now he is an offensive hero, he's an active hero, so you don't need him on defense. But these things are also needed, and I'll talk about each of them individually and why it makes a difference in offense and defense. Now, HP, always good, you always need it, doesn't matter. So 25%, you go from 8,644 to 10,805. So this is needed. So the shield will be like 60% of his own HP. That's still a lot, getting 60% extra HP. Now, regeneration 50%, this is always needed. This is when the hero's HP falls below 50% for the first time, regain X amount of HP. So in this case, 50 is the highest. So basically, you get 50% extra health, 5,400 HP. That's calculated from this number, not this. So obviously, if you have this is the best. If you don't, obviously you can't really get anything out of it. But the shield, this is, I think the maximum is 50 again. Is in the beginning of the battle. So once you first start, once you've placed him, the next 30 seconds you can have X amount of HP as shield. And in this case, I think 50% is the highest. And I think this is more useful in offense than in defense, because on defense, some people will waste the first 30 seconds intentionally or just because their attacking style is a little bit slower. So on defense, I don't think this is as important, but again, another 50% HP you can get. Now the last thing is probably one of the more important things, is the healing per 10 seconds. The maximum you can get is 13%. And for him, that is equals to 1400. This is obviously needed for defense, because if your hero doesn't die, they can heal. And in all the shield hero, only Zhang Fei can have healing. And obviously shield hero, they have a lot of HP, and if they can heal, that makes them even stronger. So that's why this attribute is for shield hero. And as I said, only Zhang Fei have the ability to heal. So all the other hero really depends on this. And on defense, if they don't die, every 10 seconds, they get over around 10% of their own HP back, which is a lot. So in this case, 13% is around 1400 HP. For Sun Ce is not really a lot, because you're expecting him to get couple thousand damage per second. But again, why is this useful? Because he at least gets 7 seconds of invincibility and possibly couple seconds of damage or shield time when he uses skill. So this might activate maybe like couple times during the battle. Obviously, it might not happen in the first 30 seconds because you're still gonna have full HP because you have this shield. So your damage doesn't goes down. So this doesn't heal anything. So the first 30 seconds, this might not be useful. But obviously, I don't think the shield from the treasure can last for 30 seconds. He probably will take more damage than that in 30 seconds. But I would say if you use him on offense, this is probably the least important. But yeah, these three are definitely more important than this. So if you have to go for the treasure, you probably want these three instead of this. Now, if you don't use shield hero on defense, that's easy because you only need these three. But if you use shield hero on defense like Crazy Juju or Zhang Fei, you probably have this already, and a combination of these four. Now, then another treasure that you might want is spawning 6 heavy cavalry. For defense, that's extremely powerful. On offense, I don't think that is as good as on defense, because they probably get killed almost instantly. But let's take a look how much HP does Overlord Sun Ce can actually have. So he has his own 10,000, and then 50%, that's another 100%, so another 10,000, another 6,000 from the shield. So just having really nice treasure, not even this one, okay? Really nice treasure, 3 attributes. We're talking about 27,000 HP, okay? 27,000 HP hero. On top of that, every 10 seconds he lasts, if you have this treasure, he gets a little bit more HP. So pretty good, right? And if you really want to know, well, it depends on what your awakening skill and how much damage is he getting attacked on during these 7 seconds. That's how much HP he has, effective HP he has, because he's taking X amount of damage. Now, we didn't even talk about hero steal here, and I'm not going to, because there is not really any good hero seal for him, like really good. I mean, any hero seal will be good. The command, right? You get damage buff for the troops around you. That could be useful. The slow thingy, I forgot what it's called, but it only applies to the enemy heroes or the reinforcement troops. They only slow the attack speed of them, so might not be as effective against structures or buildings. But I think from there you can get maybe around like 2-3,000 extra HP. So we are talking about like 30,000 HP hero right here, on top of 7-second invincibility. So it's not really that difficult to get this hero. I think like this HP, you only need 3 maximum attribute. I mean, it sounds difficult, but I'm not asking you to get 25, 50, 50. You can get 24, 48, 47. That's still as effective as 25, 50, 50 right here. And getting it onto 15, 15. So this is a lot of HP. I never really calculate how much total HP a shield hero has. I mean, the previous ones that I have talked about are Crazy Juju and Zhang Fei and Tiger Sunjian. Tiger Sunjian is really bad because he has nothing to give himself more HP. Crazy Juju doesn't. He only reflects damage. However, Zhang Fei does regenerate, but if you use his skill, if he because his passive skill, so if he can use his skill, then yes, he can regenerate a lot of HP. Given the new Transcend ability, he can even heal more, but I haven't really done any analysis on that yet. Now the fifth shield hero is Cao Cao. He can effectively has this much HP because he does spawn 2 minion that have over 10,000 HP. So he is another candidate that can have this much HP, but obviously the HP is spread out. In this case, the HP is concentrated on Overlord Sun Ce, so he can take as much damage as possible, draw as much attention, and he will still be alive for at least 7 seconds after the shield breaks. So this is very amazing. I can't wait to get mine to Awaken and then upgrade to 5 out of 5, and then his 15 out of 15. But that is it for this video. I'll see you next one. Bye bye.